Good morning, everyone. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So good morning, I'm Felix Kimbisola. So I think we should wait for like 10 minutes so we can, have everyone. Yeah. So while we do that, I would like to set some rules for this training today. We should all mute our mic and put up our videos during the class, so to avoid distractions. And also, I would like everybody to introduce themselves on the chat box. So let's get to know each other. We'd like to know your name, your department, while we wait for others to join. So who's going first? Hello, Oladejo Ibrahim Akinola. Nice to have you here. Please, I'd like everyone to drop their names and their departments on the chat. Welcome, Oladejo Ibrahim. Hello, Tolu. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Hello, Barakat. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Please, I want everybody to drop their names and their departments. Thank you. Olale Timileyin. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Oluwatundi Mutosin. Welcome. Oyinlola Adegoke. Welcome. Simon Gabriel. Welcome. Usain Emmanuel. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Kanimo Adebayo. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Please, I want everybody to drop their names and your department. Let's go, let's go. There's some people here that have not dropped their names, so and your departments. We're waiting. Let's get to know you. Yes. Someone. Gabriel Chibuzo. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Fisayo Abiodun, is nice to have you here. Welcome. Welcome. We're still waiting for others to join. We don't want anybody to miss out on anything. We don't want anyone to miss out on anything.
Hi, Felix. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Olamide.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Welcome.
Thank you.
Still down right. Oh, fine. Okay, so I think we've waited enough.
Okay, so I can take it off now, right?
Okay, yes. So let me introduce you. So today we'll be talking on employability skills, and what we're talking on is how to write a very good CV. Then how can you even be employed at first? So that's like one of the major That's like the first thing in one of the major things for you to get employed. So with me here, we have Olamide, who is going to be taking up this class. She's a talent manager, a very good one at that, experienced. So, they used to say when you want to learn, you have to learn from the best. And actually, she's one of the best around. So, let's welcome Olamide. Olamide, you have the floor now.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Felix, for having me. Hi, guys. Can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, can you drop an emoji in the chat box? If you can hear me, drop an emoji in the chat box.
Yes, I can hear you. If let's drop an emoji in the chat box. Drop mine.
All right. Thank you. I can see everything. All right. So let me apologize for not being able to project my own video at the moment. So I'm just going to you're just going to hear my voice, and I'm going to share my screen as well. So give me a minute. Let me share my screen. All right. So when you hear the word CV, I mean, what comes to mind? You can drop your answer in the chat box. What comes to mind when you hear the word CV? Okay. Work experience, thank you. Anyone else who wants to give it a try again? Only Gabriel. Anyone else wants to give it a shot? All right. Okay. Curriculum vitae, the document talking about your profile from academics to work to qualification. It speaks to you. Interesting. Details about someone written on the paper. Nice. All right. Summary of a person's personal achievements. Nice. I like that. Thank you. So all of you have spoken well, actually. All of you have spoken well. So we're just going to dive into it. So what is really a CV? So introduction to CV writing. So a CV is basically a document that actually showcases a person's skill, experience, and qualification, just like someone rightly said in the chat box. So I would liken a CV to, a guy who wants to woo a lady, and you're trying to put your best foot forward. That's the way a CV is basically. It is putting your best foot forward to show that you are qualified for a particular job position that you're trying to apply for. Do you understand? So it's just a comprehensive description of everything you've ever done, from your academics to your work experience to the skill sets that you have. Do you understand? Everything that makes you attractive, that proves to your recruiter or your potential employers that you are the right person for the job. You are someone that can add value to the organization. You are someone that has the skill set and the competence, to get the job done. So that is what's it called? The summary of a CV. Everything that highlights your achievements. Do you understand? In fact, when you see some people's CV, it can be intimidating because you will see their words that they've gotten. You see all of the certifications that they've had. I mean, it's just, you putting yourself, making yourself look attractive on paper. So we are going to go moving to the types of CVs that we have. So we Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me now? Hello, can you hear me
Yes,
now?
loud and clear.
All right, all right. I'm sorry about that.
Yes, we can.
All right, so I think my network went off. All right, so I stopped at what's it called? Talking about the types of CVs that we have. So I mentioned that we have the chronological CV. Chronological CV is the traditional type of CV that everyone is familiar with, right? It's the CV where you are leveraging your work experience as a tool to get a particular job. So say, for example, you are someone who has gained wealth of experience as an HR person or as a front-end developer. So you started your career as, what's it called? A web development intern, and then you moved to junior web developer, and then you moved to maybe what's it called, a senior web development role. Do you understand? It means that you have, gleaned experiences that can help you leverage, do you understand, the new role you're trying to apply for. So the chronological CV is best for anyone who has, who has wealth of experience in the same career path. Do you understand? So you are highlighting your work experience, your achievement in the different organizations that you have worked with. Your achievement in the different organizations that you have worked with, and then using that as your leverage. So for a chronological CV, right, after your career objective, I'm going to share what's it called, examples of each of these CVs with us. So after your career objective and what's it called, your education, the next thing you are showing is your work experience. Do you understand? Because you are confident that you have, amassed wealth of experience in this particular path and you still want to go on it. So, I said that this CV format can suit you best if you have experience and skills that are closely related to the job you're applying for. I gave the example of someone who has grown in their career ladder as a web developer or an HR person or an accountant or a finance person. Do you understand? So, and you want to now maybe apply for a more senior role. Is someone talking? All right, please, if you are not saying anything here, please kindly mute your mic. Thank you. Do you understand? And then you want to emphasize on your career projection, or also is also suitable for someone that don't have any career breaks or career gap. Also, when we are talking about what's it called, types of CV, we also have another one called functional CV or skill-based CV. Now, for undergraduate and what's it called, undergraduate, fresh graduate, entry level, and career changers, this is like the best type of CV that you can write. You know why? Because you are going to be leveraging on the skills that you have. So for someone who is an undergraduate and don't have any experience, maybe you just volunteered in your fellowship, you volunteered with an NGO, you volunteered with, what are they called? Organizations, basically, but they are not even related to the job or the roles you are trying to apply for. Then you can take advantage of a functional CV. A functional CV progression goes thus: after your career objective, your what do you call your education, the next thing you're highlighting is your skill set. So say for example, you're a front-end web developer, you want to let your employer or your recruiter know that you are proficient in writing maybe HTML, CSS, SAS, React, Bootstrap, and a number of these programming language, but you don't particularly have the experience. You probably have some work that you have on your GitHub account or something that is probably live on your GitHub, but it's not something that you can attest that maybe an organization has used before. But I mean, just a portfolio to show that you can get the job done. Then a functional CV is for you. If you are also someone who's maybe an HR person, an accountant, or any other career path that you might be on, but you don't particularly have the experience to leverage on. So you want to actually highlight the things that you can do as an accountant. Do you understand? You want to begin to tell us, or maybe you're a good auditor, you are good with maybe tax accounting and the likes. So like I said, this CV, it emphasizes on your skills and your personality as a person. Also, if you're a career changer, so career changers are people who are switching from one career path to another, or they switch through different career paths. So because of the way Nigeria is, life is in general, sometimes you are not able to start or have that direction. So you probably wanted to, maybe you started your career as a customer representative with Jumia, and then you left, and then you worked, what's it called, as a bank teller for a year, and then you left, and then now you want to transition into tech. Do you understand? So it means that you want to actually sell, you want to earn your skills out to, whoever is going to be looking through your CV. Also, if maybe, for example, you've also built your career in, what is it called, maybe as a graphic designer, and then you now want to switch into cybersecurity. Are you guys with me? Can you hear me? I want to be sure I'm not speaking to myself. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can. We can.
All right, thank you. So, and you want to maybe switch to cybersecurity. Those are two different career paths entirely. You understand? So it means that the way you're even going to craft your CV has to be one that, indicates that, oh, you are willing to, you are ready to transition. So that is where your functional CV comes in. So I said that this CV format can suit you best if you are changing career or want to show your employers that you have transferable skills, or you have an existing career gap. So what are you guys with me? Or can you guys hear me? I don't know. Because my video is not on, I want to be sure that I'm carrying you guys along.
We're with you. We can hear you clearly.
If you can hear me, please say something. All right. So if you also have like a career gap, a functional CV is also for you. So there's something called career break. Career break is when you take time off of work or your professional journey to focus on other interests. It could be education, it could be family, especially for women. It could be as a result of paying attention to your mental health as a person. So you want to, you want to leverage your functional CV to show that, oh, okay, even though I took a break, I still have this skill set. All right. So we are going to be moving on to the combination CV. So the combination CV is also called hybrid CV. Now, it is a combination of chronological and functional CV. This is where you are able to, own both your skills, your work experience, the certifications, the experiences, in a manner that puts you as a preferred candidate for a job. So now, this is also the best type of CV because number one, you already have the experience. Number two, you have the skill sets. So for example, imagine someone who have been a developer all their life. And then, and you know that when you are working across various organizations, different organizations use different programming languages to write their code and to also service their customers. So it means that you are not just knowledgeable in the normal programming languages. You probably have additional skills specific what's it called? Excuse me. So you have career specific skills, rather, that's what I'm looking for, that now puts you forward as the best candidate. So, it's this kind of CV is actually good where you want to draw attention to specific achievements that you've had. Now, when you're writing your CV, right, you would always hear experts saying that you should not just put what you did, you want to put your achievement as well. So maybe you were a program coordinator or something, and then you were put in charge of a project, and you were able to maybe increase the sales of tickets for an event or something. So maybe you also carried out a survey with customers. So you want to put your CV as, oh, okay, you carried out maybe a customer initiative survey that increased the sales of maybe the name of the show by 30%. Because it now makes your achievement quantifiable. It makes your achievements, what's it called? It makes your achievements more realistic. It makes you look like you're a metrics-driven person. So those are the three types of CVs that we have. Now, why should you have a CV or write a CV? The funny thing is, as undergraduates, sometimes we do not really see a need, to prepare for the labor market until we actually find ourselves in the labor market. We don't see the need to, put our skills and, everything together to ensure that we are market ready. Oh, okay. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can hear you, Olamide.
Yes.
All right. So a number of times, like undergraduates don't see the need to be market ready, right? They just feel like, oh, okay, when we get to that book, we'll cross it. But the truth is, you want to learn how to sell yourself, right, on paper, or you want to be prepared, right, to sell yourself on paper before actually, even getting the opportunity to sell yourself. And that is why it is important that you write a CV, you know how to write a CV, or give it to a professional to help you write it. right? Because it is a great way to showcase your skills and experience, especially in the workplace today, where employers are not particularly ready to, now be the one to begin to spoon feed you and train you. And, maybe you entered an organization with zero skill in that career path. You want to prove to them that you're already done your own work, and then you already have the skill. You probably don't have the experience, but you know how to use, you have the knowledge on how to use particular tools and softwares that makes you a perfect candidate for that job. And it's also a great way to put your foot in the door for interviews and job opportunities. And then it makes you stand out, making what's it called, a lasting impression. Now, do you know that research has shown that the average recruiter, right, have less than 30 seconds to be impressed by your CV? Like, once they go through your CV, you don't have up to 30 seconds to impress them or show that you are good at what you do. So you see the reason why you need to learn how to write a CV like a professional, so that at the first glance, right, they are attracted and they even want to meet you. They want to have a conversation with you to see how you can proceed further with a role. So now we're not going to be talking on how to create a CV. There are a few things that needs to be in check for your CV to be, a great one. Now, you need your contact information. So I mentioned earlier that I'm going to share, what's it called, a CV template with you once I'm done with my slide. Contact information is very, very important. Now, what do I mean by contact information? Your contact information is your address, it is your email address, it is your phone number, and also your LinkedIn. And then I'm including your LinkedIn because a number of times you may have made mistake with your your email address or your phone numbers, and recruiters can actually reach you through your LinkedIn profile. And this is why it is important for you to also create a LinkedIn account if you don't have one, right? And have an active one. So now your contact information is important because sometimes some recruiters don't have the opportunity to send you an email. They may want to have a phone interview with you. So they just call you and then have a phone interview with you. And now imagine that they call you and your number is not going through. Now, this is what I advise people to do. If you are someone that, have two phones and then your most active line is on the phone that has a bad battery, buy a Nokia phone or a phone that has, what's it called, a lasting battery, right? And then put that most active number on that phone so that you can be reachable. I have heard different stories and also had different experiences of you wanting to invite someone for an interview. Say, for example, they missed the email you sent to them, and then you are calling them, and then it is telling you that it is switched off or the number is not correct. So you see the reason why. And please don't put your mommy's number, don't put your daddy's number, don't put your auntie's number, don't put your friend's number. Put your own number that you know that anytime you are called, they can easily reach you. Now, the next section would be your career objective. Your career objective basically speaks to, number one, the skills that you have, right? In fact, your career objective is more like a summary of your CV. When you're writing a proposal and then you now have what is called your executive summary, or you're writing your project and you have your abstract. That is what your career objective is like. And then you selling yourself and telling them that with all of these things that I have, I am positioned to, be the the best candidate for your organization. Now, when you are writing your career objectives, you want to ensure that you are not using ambiguous words. Do you understand? You want to ensure that you are making your English as simple as possible. You are making it as easy as possible. Don't put something that someone will have to now start, opening dictionary to check the meaning. And then you should also be assured. Don't write a whole comprehension paragraph. A 5 lines, 6 lines is okay, especially for someone who is just starting out in their career path. If you are not someone who already has like 4, 5, 6 years of experience, I see no reason why your career objective should not be more than 4 lines or 5 lines. And then your work experience. Now, I know that a lot of undergraduates have issues with their work experiences, especially for people who have never worked before. So you finish school and you don't know what to put in your work experience. You volunteered in your fellowship. If you're someone who attends fellowship, that is a work experience. You just need to, tweak it to, fit a professional setting. For some of you that are Bible study, teachers, you're a facilitator. Do you understand? You facilitated, you developed curriculum that, improved that improved the learning process for your students. Do you understand? So if you've had, maybe all of those experiences, or maybe you also volunteer with, I think, ISEC, or I think that's the name of the organization, right? You can also leverage those volunteer opportunities as your work experiences, because whether you like it or not, you already amassed skills that are also transferable to the new role you are applying for. So that's that for work experience. Another thing I advise people to do is, when you're an undergraduate, try to volunteer with organizations. And I think that 8K has done a great job by providing you with that opportunity to gain experience, gain real life experience of the workplace. So you can now even put that on your CV and say, oh, we were so something intern, maybe digital marketing intern, front end intern, or web development intern. Do you understand? That's something. That way it gives your recruiter or whoever is going through your CV an idea that, oh, okay, this person has at least, understand some workplace culture and, know how to behave in the workplace as well. Now, your academic history / education is basically telling us that, oh, you went to FUTA, and then this is the course you studied in FUTA, this is your class of degree, and this is the year you finished. That's all. So if you now have if you now have other educational, also please, another mistake that I know that people make is the fact that they include your primary school and secondary school. Please don't include it on your CV. Don't include it on your CV, except your recruiter request for it. You don't need to include it on your CV, except your employer request for your secondary primary details on your CV, or let's say your certification. So for career certification, there's someone management or you manage certifications from IAN, CS, PM, begin to write applications, put in view. If you don't. All right, sorry, my network
Hello,
is a
Lamide.
bit bad. Yeah, sorry, my network is quite bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back.
So are you guys with me?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, as an undergraduate, you want to begin to write your certification exams, whatever career path you're choosing. You begin to prepare yourself for the workplace. Those are some of the things that would also give you leverage when you are done with university education. Those are some of the things that employers will look at, especially for people who wants to be accountants. And you know the funny thing is sometimes in fact most times actually what you learned in the university is not what you end up doing in life. Imagine an engineer who is working as a banker. Do you get? So, but you also want to play your part by positioning yourself in the career path that you want. What are the certifications exam? There are free courses that you can do. There are, organizations that run courses that you can also apply for. Even some organizations do virtual classes that you can begin to, take during your break or during weekend, so that you can also include these things in your CV and it gives you leverage. Now, in your skill set area, you want to identify, the technical skills that you have and the soft skills that you have. Soft skills cannot be overemphasized. Some of you don't know because you are fresh graduate, you really don't yet understand what it means to be professional, what interpersonal relationship means, what it means to be a team player, what it means to be innovative and creative. But those are some of the things that you want to learn. There are courses that you can take that can teach you these things, that can prepare you. Do you understand? So you want to include those things on your CV. For people who are maybe digital marketers, you want to include the tools and the skill set that you have as a digital marketer as well. For people who are web developers, for people who are data analysts, for people who are, in different aspects in that career path, you want to begin to include them. Now, for your volunteer work, because you are fresh graduate or undergraduate or entry level, you may not have what's it called, the volunteer section, because the volunteer section will most likely be what will be your work experience. But once you now begin to, amass this work experience, get the experience needed on your career path, then you can now move those earlier experiences to volunteer, because that's what you did basically. So now we are going to be talking about some of the mistakes that people make on their CV. Please give me a moment. So I think another thing that I forgot to mention on is that you want to make your CV very easy to read. You want to use a very simple layout. So there is some tracking system. A lot of these organizations, this software, because of the volume of applications they receive, so it won't be easy for it's the HR team to begin to search through the CVs themselves. An ATS software would easily read a CV with a simple and straightforward layout than a CV with multiple designs. And as a matter of fact, if you are not a graphics person or a UI UX person, I see no reason why you should have colors on your CV. you should not be dramatic or wanting to be excessively creative with your CV and then putting blue color. Another thing that we should bear in mind is that you never can know who is going through your CV. The person can even, have this, what is it called? Is it color problem they call it? Here, when you see some specific colors, they pain your eye as a person. Do you get? So you want to make your CV as easy as possible, straight to the point. Do you understand? Make it easy. Don't use funny font. One time, somebody sent a CV to me for a sales role, and I could not even read through the CV because the person was using a very funny font style rather. It was very wavy or something. I mean, I could not even see the person's name, let alone the person's information. And the funny thing is the person could have actually be a fit for that job role, but the person has already disqualified his or herself by using a very funny font. Do you understand? And also include relevant information. Don't include irrelevant information like your hobby, your reference. If it is not requested for, please don't include it. And also you want to ensure that you have someone to help you proofread your CVs, just in case there might be mistakes or errors or spelling errors, or maybe something you can do better. So what are some of the mistakes that people make when they're writing their CV? If you have any question, just hold on. If you have any question, just hold on. I would answer them at the end of the class. Now, the mistakes that you should avoid on your CV is putting your full home address. For example, 15 Aregbesola Close off Salau Street, Ikosiketu, Lagos. You know what this does to you, right? You begin to put yourself in a position where you are stereotyped. And this is what I mean. Say, for example, you are staying somewhere in Ikorodu, and then you're applying for a job in Lekki. The funny thing is you might actually have someone that you could stay with in Lekki that is close to the place of work you're applying for. But because you have already put Ikorodu, the recruiter, being human and understanding that it will not be convenient for you, will not call you, will not invite you for an interview. Especially if you stay in very extreme places in Lagos. Lagos, Nigeria is fine. Then when you are being called for an interview, you now get the opportunity to explain that, oh, you have an auntie, you have a friend, you have an uncle that you can stay with, whose house or location is very close to the place of work. So please do not put your full home address on your CV. Also, don't include your date of birth. If an employer wants to know your date of birth, oftentimes they will tell you to either fill a form, and then on that form, they will ask for your date of birth. Or there is always a means of application that would make them, collect your date of birth. But you don't want to put it on your CV because you might actually, be good at what you do, but your age would sell you off. So now imagine someone that is maybe probably 35 and the owner of the company is say 25 or 24. And then the person is already feeling like, I may not be able to talk to this person will listen, no. Or if this person does something wrong, I may not be able to express myself. Do you understand? And like that, they've already removed you from the pool of talent that's supposed to be considered. And you might even be someone that is very humble. You may have a very humble personality and you may be creative. You may even have what it takes to move that organization to the next level that they want to go. But you already stereotyped yourself and put your age there. So they're not thinking that maybe you're already over age and you may not, be submissive, or you may not be humble, you may not be willing to learn. Also, don't put your state of origin. Because to be honest, if I want to know where you are from, I mean, I would request for it. And what this does is it also puts you in, the tribalism box. Yeah, some people will say, oh, they have issues with people from Imo, they have issues with people from Benue and stuff like that. Or maybe even the person that left that organization was from the same state that you came from, and the person stole, or the person, did something to tarnish the image of the organization. And you are not the same person as the person. You don't do that. You have integrity, you have all of those things, because they are still trying to recover from the shock of what the previous employer has done. They may not want to consider you, considering the fact that you are also from the same, state or locality from the person. So you don't want to shoot yourself in the leg by including this information. Also, information like your gender, your religious background, your marital status, you don't need to include it. Because you get, it is easier for you to be able to explain some things when you are before an interviewer than you not even getting a chance to explain it at all. For example, imagine that, oh, okay, you newly just got married, and then the role that you are applying for in some organization require that maybe within 2 years, you may not, they don't want you to go on maternity leave because of how critical your role is to the organization. And truly, you and your spouse already agreed that, oh, especially as a lady, oh, within 2 years, we are not considering a baby. But you don't get to, explain that until you land an interview. So don't put information that would stereotype you as a person. Don't put your religious background, because you're not going to a church, you're not going to a mosque. You are going to a place of work, a place of work is a neutral ground. Nobody is playing religion there. Do you understand? So you also want to use, what was it called? Professional fonts. So using unprofessional fonts or bright colors on your CV, it can put your recruiter or potential employee off. So I mentioned earlier that except you are, a graphics person or someone in the creative space, or someone that you just need to be dramatic to show that you're a very creative person. You get? Let your CV be as simple and straightforward as possible. And that's why I say that you want to use fonts like Time New Roman, Cambaria, Georgia, Calibri, and Arial. Those are professional fonts that you can use on your CV, and they also make your CV come out really nice. Also, continuing on the mistakes that you should avoid on your CV, also include using unprofessional email address, e.g. sexylami5@gmail.com. Why? Why are you using dollyboli@gmail.com? Why? That is very unprofessional. And that speaks one thing about you, that you are also unprofessional. Because you should know that, when you're going for an event, there are different outfits for different events. The outfit that you wear to church is not the same outfit that you wear for a dinner party. It's not the same outfit that you wear to a beach. It's not the same outfit that you wear for a birthday party. Do you understand? So you want to have, I mean, you can have your sexy lamy, QTP, email address and, stuff like that for personal use. But when you want to interface with organizations, you want to, have, professional conversations, you have to, have a professional email address, like okesonyaolamide@gmail.com, okesanya.olamide@gmail.com, or okesonya, maybe 7@gmail.com. Do you understand? That way, it puts you in a position where, okay, you are being taken seriously. I know that sometimes too, recruiters, they maybe they don't have access to your CV at that moment. They can even use your email address to just call your name. Oh, hi, okay, Sonia. Oh, hi, Olamide. But when your email address is Sexy Lami or Sexy Cutie, imagine how weird it will sound when a recruiter is saying, oh, hello, Sexy Cutie. You will cringe over the phone because it will look unprofessional. Meanwhile, you're actually the one that actually caused it. So you want to have what's it called? Use professional, email addresses. So I already addressed this, providing wrong or unreachable contacts. Like I said earlier, have your most active and reachable phone number in a device that can be reached anytime. Unprofessional file name. Some of you don't know how to name your CVs. So you want to name your CV and then you're putting CV 001 or last commit CV. You want to put your name so that the recruiters can also remember, oh, this CV belongs to this person. Do you understand? Also, don't include picture of yourself on your CV. Don't. Resist the urge to include the picture of yourself on your CV. If they are pushing you to include the picture of yourself on your CV, resist it. Don't let village people follow you because we are different and we have different facial outlook. Some people, their face looks very tough and hard. Meanwhile, they are very simple and easygoing person. Do you understand? And I mean, it's just human and logical that when you see someone whose face is hard and you don't really know them, the next line of action is that, oh, you know what, we are not going to consider this person. Do you get? So don't put a picture of yourself And some people, when you even put your picture, you don't even put professional pictures. You have your red lips, shouting, and your lashes, your lashes draw. In fact, your lashes is going everywhere. AYR. Do you understand? Don't include a picture of yourself. You don't need it. And for some of you, your picture does not even represent you well because the quality of a picture is poor. So you don't want to put yourself in that position where you don't even, give yourself an opportunity to be known. Also, including false and exaggerated information. I mean, so, all right, I'm still what you guys are putting in the chat box. I will think about it. I'll think about it. All right, so, putting false or exaggerated information. For some of you as developers, you only have 1 year of experience. And in your 1 year of experience, there's only so much you can do. But you are putting you're crafting your experience such that it's only someone with 5 years of experience that could have done what you are doing. And if they call you to come and do it today, you know deep down that you cannot do it. But because you shall want to get the job, you put the things that you do not do, you put the things that you can do, the one that you cannot do, the one that you have never done before, the one that you don't even know exists, you shall put everything. Do you understand? Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Just amplify your achievements and what you've been able to do so far. It will open doors for growth and other opportunities for you. So now, we're also going to be talking about tips that would help your CV stand out. I mentioned this again, use simple CV layout. There are some CVs that are called ATS format CV, right? These are CVs that are crafted in such a way that when they are passed through an ATS, right, the ATS does not reject it. Because there is something called matchability rate. What an ATS does is to match your CV, your skill set to the JD that has been published. Do you understand? So once, what's it called? Your CV goes through an ATS. What an ATS is telling the recruiter is, oh, this person is 70% compatible to this job role. This person is 50% compatible with this job role. This person is, oh, maybe 80% compatible with this job role. Most recruiters are looking for, between 50 to 70%. Once they're already entering 80, 90%, you're already overqualified for that job, and they will still not call you. Do you understand? So that is what an ATS does. But an ATS would find it difficult to begin to see what's it called? To begin to highlight information on your CV, because ATS works with metrics. It works with numbers. It works with skills. Do you understand? And it works with keywords. And what I mean by this is, there are some keywords that are on that JD that the organization has published that they are looking for. Because when they are actually setting that applicant tracking system, those are the things that they will be asking that ATS to highlight on your CV. So it is tracking those keywords, front-end web developer. Do you understand? 5 years of experience, 3 years of experience, and you want to write them in numbers, not in alphabet. 3 years of experience. Do you understand? Oh, SAS, CSS. Those are the things that is going to be highlighting to now put together and tell the recruiter that, oh, this person can be considered for the next phase of the interview or the recruitment process. But once your CV is not simple, is not straightforward, you are going to have a lot of issues, and you don't want to put yourself in that position. You also want to make use of action words that make your CV more compelling. So there is something called being a doer and being an achiever. Do you understand? Action words makes your CV more compelling. For example, you want to say that you managed, you oversaw, you facilitated, you fostered. Do you understand? You assisted if you are a junior person. Do you understand? These words makes your CV more visually compelling, and presents you in a way that you are someone who takes initiative. Do you understand? You are someone who can actually take control of situation. You are someone who can manage situations. Do you understand? So you're not looking like someone that, oh, you just went to work and you did what you're supposed to do. It helps you to highlight your contribution to the success of your organization. So tailor your CV to the job position you're applying for. This is a bit tricky. And here is why. It's a bit tricky because there are times that you are applying, you are switching careers, and to be honest, you have been an HR all your life. Now you want to be a front-end developer. How do you want to tweak your CV to fit in as a front-end developer? If you remember when we spoke about the types of CV, we said that was, what's it called? That was a functional CV. That's a skill-based CV. Who is writing on my screen? Somebody is writing on my screen. Please stop it. Do you understand? So except you're already on the path of the job you're trying to apply for, yes, you can tailor your CV to suit the job you're applying for. But if you're a career changer, someone who has been on a particular career path and then is now switching to another career path, you are still going to use the CV that you've used. It's just that you now leverage on your skill sets, and then your career objective, to push you forward as a preferred candidate. And also be concise. You see some people's CV, and an entry-level person is having a 2-pager CV. Why? How many experiences have you gathered to have a 2-pager CV? Do you understand? Remove irrelevant information. Remove, irrelevant job description that is not relevant to what you're applying for. Remove it. If 3, 4, 5 points is enough to describe everything you did in the number of years or months of experience that you've had, because it did not change. If you're a front-end developer, you were still building websites. Even though you built 10 websites, you still built. So you want to be able to craft your CV in such a way that you are explaining and you are not over explaining or under explaining. So I also mentioned earlier, emphasize on your results rather than responsibilities when I was talking about, tips to help you stand out. So I like relevant skills, and this include your technical skills such as proficiency in certain software programs and your soft skills as well. I also mentioned that you want to highlight the skill sets that you have. It is important. Highlight the skill sets that you have. What are the things that you can do? What are, you can communicate. If you've volunteered anywhere before, and then you wrote an email, you wrote a report, you did, and the person you wrote it to understood what you wrote and was able to take action based on what you submitted, then you can communicate. That means that you can communicate. If at any point in time, even if it's in your fellowship, church, or whatever, NGO you volunteered with, you're able to solve a problem, then you have a problem-solving skills. These are some of these things that we do on a daily basis, even in your academic experience as well. They give you an assignment, the lecturer gave you an assignment, and you were able to think through it to provide solution to that assignment. That is problem solving. You were teamed in your class, and then you have to work on, a topic that you guys will be presenting, right? That is teamwork. You were able to work with them to get that assignment done, that project done. That's teamwork. Do you understand? So those are some of the things that you can, highlight and then put on your CV, and then use bullet points, short paragraph to highlight your key points, because it makes it easy for your employer to scan. Remember earlier I said that the average recruiter has less than 30 seconds to scan through your CV. So you don't want to write in paragraph format. You want to write in bullet points when you are highlighting your work experience and then your trainings and all. So I also mentioned earlier, proofread someone who has attention to details. And that brings us to the overview of what a CV or how to write a winning CV. So I also mentioned earlier that I'm going to share a template with you. So while I'm trying to bring out the template, if you have any question, please go ahead and ask. Thank you. Anybody have any question?
All right, Salamide, there's a question from YouTube, which I dropped in the chat box, so you can check and answer that.
Okay, so I'm loving the class. My question is it compulsory the CV is more than 2 pages? Because I have friends that brag. What are you writing? Do you have 10 years of experience? No, if you don't have 10 years of experience, or 15 years of experience, or 20 years of experience, you don't even need a 2-pager. Okay, you can even have a 2-pager CV. You want to have like a 5 years of experience and it's across different organizations. But I beg, nothing more than 3 years. 3-pager. So if you're an entry level person, right? A 1 page is enough to summarize everything that you have. A 1-pager CV is enough. Triggered, except you are a graphics design person, and that one is called portfolio, or you're a product designer, and you need to showcase your work, you need to showcase things that you've done. Then you can now have another PDF file, which is your portfolio, that your recruiter or your potential employer can now go through to see the quality of your work and how creative your work is. But anything apart from that, and that is even with a 1-pager CV, do you understand? So anything apart from a 1-pager for an undergraduate, fresh graduate, entry level, no. Abort the mission. Don't do it. All right. Give me a minute. I'm trying to bring out the CVs. I'm seeing someone raising their hand. Please, you can speak. Someone raised their hand.
Okay, there's another question here from Adeleke.
What's the difference between a CV and a resume? A CV and a resume is actually the same thing. It's just like saying a knicker and a short. It is the same thing, but because depending on the locations that you are, so countries like Canada, countries like Australia, and the like, they use the word resume. They use the word resume. Like America is a mix of both. They use the word resume, but they're still saying your CV. Do you understand? But countries like Nigeria, UK, London, and the rest, they use the word CV. Do you understand? So there's no difference. Number two, please, can you enlighten us on the difference between academic CV and CV for job? Academic CV, thank you for that question. That's a very beautiful question. So academic CV is just basically CV that highlights your academic achievement, and it's for people who are interested in academia. For example, your professors and lecturers in school, what they have is an academic CV, because it will include the articles that they've written, it will include their research work, it will include their journals, it will include their what's it called? Yeah, their research work and the likes. Or if you want to, write your PhD outside the country, you're always required to, submit your academic CV. So your academic CV is just a CV that enumerates your academic achievement as a person. If you're applying for a scholarship in Harvard, in Oxford, in Alberta universities and the likes, most often PhD, you would always need an academic CV. A job CV highlights your achievement in your career. Academic CV highlights your achievement in your academic path. So it is for people who are in the academic field. Therefore, because if you go through your lecturer CV and the CV of a business manager, you will not see an article, or you will not see what is it called, the section for articles and journals and research work in the CV of maybe a branch manager or a product designer or something, but someone who is in the academic space, because that is their own, that's the only thing that they leverage on. Do you understand? So for someone that wants to move from being maybe an assistant lecturer, one to an assistant lecturer, two to be a lecturer, you have your BS, you have your master's. If you now want to even be considered as an associate professor, let alone a professor, you need to have your doctorate degree. You need to have written a number of published articles, a number of published journals, a number of research work. Do you understand? Because those are the things that they accumulate together, for them to be promoted at their own place of work. Do you understand? So if you are not interested in the academic, if you're not interested in pursuing career in academics, you have no business with academic CV. If you don't intend to, write a PhD or something, or do your PhD rather, you have no business with academic CV. Do you understand? I hope that answers your question.
Yes, I have a question.
All right, quiet.
The question is that now I wish to apply to a big company. So is it like what the company focus on, like what they are all about, the aspects they are all about, the sector they are into? Am I to write like what's it called in terms of this training? Let me say skill set, like the school academic sector now. So under that skill set, can I still put my like the what's it called? If I'm a data analyst, can I still put it there like as an additional skill?
Yes, now you can. You can't, because in every institution deals with data. Every organization makes decisions based on data. Do you understand? So it's just an additional leverage for you. That is if you are writing an academic CV, if I got your question correctly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Read one.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right. And if I also got your question, you were asking if someone needs to write a professional certification based on where you want to go.
Actually, yeah. That's
No,
exactly
you
that's
don't
what
write.
I'm.
What's it called? Professional exam based on your place of work. You write professional exam based on your career path. Your career path can cut across various organizations. Do you understand? As you progress in your career journey, it cuts across various organizations, except you want to, start and finish in one organization. Well, if you are going to be moving from organization A to organization B, if organization A say write this exam and you get to organization B, say write, it's going to be stressful. So you are more focused on your career and things that will help you, that will help you grow in your career path rather than the organization. Do you understand? So your certification can also help you in your current organization, but you don't put yourself in a position where those certifications and training becomes useless after you leave that organization. You should still be able to leverage on them after leaving that organization, to make yourself better in the next organization.
It answered my question. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, so somebody is asking what a cover letter is. Please, can I have your email for institute review, please? All right. Someone is asking what a cover letter is. So a cover letter is a one-pager summary highlighting why you are fit for the job. Do you understand? So your cover letter should, begin with, oh, this is who you are, this is the experience that you've amassed, or maybe this is the school you finished from, this is the organization that you've worked, these are the experiences that you've gained from these organizations, and that this is and based on those experiences and skill set, you believe that you are going to be the best candidate for this job, and you look forward to hearing back from them. Find attached my CV, and then you can send it. So it's just you it's giving you an opportunity to sell yourself. So it's not like someone's coming to meet you with the product. You've seen the product, then you're not asking the person, so why should I buy this product? Do you understand? That is what a cover letter does. A cover letter is supposed to be a boost. So some of the things that you may not be able to maybe highlight in your CV, it gives you an opportunity to highlight them in your cover letter. Do you understand? So it's just a one-pager document that gives you the opportunity to speak broadly about yourself and why you are the best candidate for that job. It's more like giving an elevator pitch. I hope that answers your question. So please, can you enlighten us?
I have another question.
Please give me a minute.
Okay.
Let me answer the questions in the chat box. Since we are to tailor our CVs to each job we want to apply for, does that mean that we should have multiple CVs? That is, if we are to apply for different jobs, yes, you should have multiple CVs. So if you are in the HR space, I'll use HR because I really understand that space. And then you know that you can work as a talent manager, you can work as a talent acquisition specialist, you can work as a technical recruiter or non-technical recruiter. You can also work as maybe an HR analyst. Do you understand? You want to craft your CV to suit, so that when you are, because sometimes you will not have the opportunity to sit down and begin to work on CV. So you want to have them down. You know that, okay, these are your 3 or 4 career paths that, okay, you are interested in. Do you understand? So you want to have CV for each of those career paths so that when opportunity comes, you can easily send it out. So you should not, you can now have one generic CV, but you want to have, CV that are tailored to different aspects of your career path. Do you understand? So maybe you are a web developer, and then you can do front end, you can do back end, you can do full stack, you can be a software developer. You want your CV to be able to speak to it. Do you understand? You want your CV to be able to speak to it, but you can also have a generic CV that has everything all together in it. Yes, yes. So that means that your cover letter is like a sales, your cover letter is like a sales pitch for yourself. Exactly. Exactly. You got me. You got me. All right. Somebody said they had another question. So please go ahead to ask the question.
The question is that what's it called? For
Please,
writing,
can you be more audible?
I said the format for writing the CV.
Oh my God, I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all.
Format for writing the CV. Hello, can you hear
Maybe
me?
you want to drop it. Maybe you want to drop it in the chat box. I'm trying to pull out. I'm
All
trying to
right,
pull out the CV now.
all right, all right.
Oh my God. I'm with you, please. I'm trying to pull out the CV template.
Okay, so why she pulls out the CV templates, I would like to talk on what it does. So can everybody hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So it is a venture studio that provides all the resources needed to launch a startup, including the team, equity, directions, capital. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, if you want to start a startup, 8K provides you, everything you need. The teams that you need someone that wants to be in your web development team. You need someone for your business development and all that. And we are also experienced professionals who have helped several businesses succeed with their ideation phase. That means when you are still processing, when you still have the idea, you are trying to bring the idea into paper to see how it works, and the all the, what is it called, when you are still doing your SWOT analysis, the visibility studies and all that. So we've helped several businesses and to do to succeed with the ideation phase, as well as growth strategy formulation. So that's what we do at Itke. I don't know if Olamide is done, if she's ready for us now.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm going to share my screen now.
Okay.
For it to finish.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. You can share your screen now, Olamide.
All right. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. So this is what your CV should be like, and drop it in chat box. All right. So now this person, I'm going to be showing you the CV of someone who is entry level and someone who is advanced. So this is someone who is already a senior person, and for someone who is even a senior person, the person just has a two-pager, a two-pager, what's it called, project, where the person is talking about their professional experience, train accounting, advisory senior consultant at both companies A and B with over 5 years of experience in financial and non-financial sector, blah, 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 moves over to education. What are the certificates you've acquired? Which school did you go through? Then your training certificate. What training did you do? Did you do it on Udemy? Did you do it on Coursera? Did you do it? Which organization did you do it with? What's it called? What is your work experience? What are the work experiences that you had? Do you understand? So you want to begin to, can you see how easy and simple this template is? Can you see how easy and simple it is? If you have personal project, what are the personal projects that you worked on? If you've received award, maybe at your place of work, what are the awards that you worked on? I want to share another one with you guys. So your CV needs to be straightforward, like straight to the point. You don't want to, you don't want to be saying too much grammar. So I'm going to be sharing with you the CV of someone who is more like an entry-level person. So can you see my screen now? So you will see that this person, it doesn't particularly have like a stretch of experience. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see the CV?
Yes, we can.
Yes, it doesn't have like the experience. So your career objective to be something like this: a self-motivated IT professional with keen interest in with experience in developing mobile responsive applications. I am proficient in writing languages such as blah 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 blah. With solid knowledge of and so. I have the ability to, do you understand? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see that the career objective is not more than five lines. So you want to go straight to the point with your career objective. You want to, give a solid intro. I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say. Fortunately for this person, he is currently working as a junior front-end developer, blah, 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 with an organization. But also in the previous experience, he was working as a maths and science tutor. But we didn't answer that because he was a maths and science tutor, he would not put it. He would put it because it was a volunteer experience. It was something that he volunteered to do. So I don't know if you guys are understanding what I mean by a simple a CV with a simple layout. This is what I mean. Can you see how it is following like an order? It is a well-formatted CV. CV formatting means that the way you arrange your CV. How do you arrange your CV? Is your CV the type that we want to look for your education? We have to start looking for where did you put your education on your CV, or which part of your CV did you put it? Or we want to look for your skill set, and we are asking which part of your CV did you put your skill set to? Where are we looking? With this, you can go is straightforward from career to education, from education to work experience, from work experience to training and certification, and then your skill sets. Do you understand? So you want to make your CV as straightforward as possible. You don't want your CV to be something that people are looking for. because I mentioned earlier that you have 30 seconds. Any recruiter that sees this CV would, because it makes the person look like, it paints the person as someone who is organized. Do you understand? Seeing this CV will make you know that, okay, this person is an organized person from the way you lay out your CV. And it's another thing that also, makes some people lose interviews and job opportunity, because your CV is poorly laid out. Your CV is poorly laid out. So you want to put your CV in such a way that whatever it is they are looking for, they can find it. Because this person is a front-end developer, the person also included the link to his GitHub. So that instead of the recruiter now calling you that, oh, Mr. Korade, please send us the link to your GitHub so that we can see some of the projects you've worked on. They can just easily click on it and then see it. And the same thing speaks to your LinkedIn. You want to hyperlink the link to your LinkedIn on your CV so that in case they want to check you out. For some of you, you don't know that your social media is also your CV. So you cannot afford to be posting nonsense. Because whether you like it or not, you are not just representing the organization within the organization, you are also representing them outside. I'm sure you've heard of cases where organizations, they associate themselves with somebody because they misbehaved outside, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the organization. They did not steal from the organization, they did not defraud the organization or anything, but because of their own personal, bad behavior, the organization, detached from them. For some, I'm sure that you guys saw a tweet that went viral one time where someone tweeted that Zenith Bank is one of the most useless banks in Nigeria. And then you went for an interview with Zenith Bank, and one of the recruiters, dug out that tweet for the person. So you see that your social media, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, they are also your CV. They want to know how balanced you are as a person, but they also want to know that outside of the corporate space, you have sense. So I believe that that brings us to the end.
Sorry.
Okay.
Please.
I think I'm seeing a question here. All right, go ahead, Aisha.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to ask if there is a difference between the CV you have described and the kind of CV you write when it's not like there was a job advert. You are kind of putting yourself forward as being interested.
Yeah, that's called an
in
unsolicited application, an unsolicited CV.
Yes. That's
yes, because you just had is that a Shadye?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you probably did not see any job opening. You just had a glimpse that the organization might be working on a project, and you know that you have the skill set to work on that project too. Yes, exactly. So you will now craft your CV around that project, around what you want to apply for, around the part you want to play there. Do you understand? You will now craft your CV to fit into that particular position, and then you send it to the organization. The only thing is the organization will not reach back to you, because you never can tell if they already have a talent that fills that position, except you are very, very sure that they don't have a talent that fills that position. But if there is no particular difference, it's more like you are writing what is it called? A targeted CV, where your CV is targeted at that particular thing that you want to do for them. Do you understand?
Okay.
So it's still the same as saying that you are writing your CV to fit what you want to do with them. Okay.
Yes. I get it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. So I'm seeing Tolu's question. How does one who already has a job apply for another? Should they include the experience of the current job? Yes, include the experience of the current job. What are the things involved in going about that? there is nothing involved in going about that, actually. It's just your most recent experience, and then you have been there since also till present. It doesn't mean that you will not be considered for the job. Do you understand? It doesn't mean that you'll not be considered for the job. As a matter of fact, you would be putting yourself in a tight corner if you say that it's not your current role, and then they need you to be at maybe the organization. Because now what organizations do is they also put the talent into consideration, especially if they are with a previous employer. They also put them into consideration. Oh, how many weeks of notice are you supposed to leave your current employer before you can leave, and and stuff like that. They put all of those things into consideration. How they will schedule your interview. If your interview will have to be a virtual interview. For some people, because they work, they will make their interview what's it called, virtual or weekend. Do you understand? So it's still the same thing. There is no back and forth. It's still the same way you arrange your work experience in a reverse chronological order. That is from your least recent experience, your most recent experience. It's just that in your most recent experience, you are saying, I'm working with so organization as this. I've been working there since so years till present. That's all. So do you have any more questions? Do we have any more questions? You're welcome to Lou. I hope you guys enjoyed the class, and I hope that you guys learned a lot, and I hope that you have everything you need to write evening CV. I wish you all the best in your journey, and as you come out into the work, the labor space. I hope that you have everything it takes to leverage and land that dream job. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, Olamide. Thank you so much. So before we leave, next week we'll be talking on LinkedIn optimization. Just like she said, that's like the social media for professionals. So LinkedIn optimization is one of the aspects of social media improvement you should not overlook. It is very, very important that you optimize your LinkedIn. And so we'll be talking about LinkedIn optimization next week, Saturday, with you. And before we go, I would like us to drop a love emoji for Molamide in appreciation, because what she did was very, very helpful to most of us. And yes, so I would love us to drop a thank you message or a love emoji in the chat box. And before we go, I'd love us to put on your video, your camera, so we can take a class picture together. So yes, so I want us to put on our videos so we can take a class picture together. And this is also for attendance too. Yes, so how you yeah, okay, so let's take a class picture. Okay, yeah, thank you guys. It's nice to have you here, and we would be seeing you this time next week. So do have a lovely weekend. Bye. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much. You're welcome.